Hi everyone, welcome back to Java 1 for All. Let's continue our topic about interfaces. Now we're going to see one of the major differences between interfaces and abstract classes. So let's imagine that we do have our data loader, that's our contract for loading data, and now we are going to have another interface, that's data remover. Let's create a new interface, data remover. And as you know, public abstract void remove. Okay, now we have another interface, and well, it doesn't make sense to create one class to each interface to just provide implementation for one method. So our data loader could be the one also responsible for deleting, even though the name maybe not be the best, but the database loader could be the one responsible as well. So fortunately for us, the interfaces, they can be multiple times implemented. So in this case, by adding a comma and database remover, data remover, we can provide the database loader the option to also remove the data. We just have to provide implementation to the remove method. So as you can see, and this is like a huge difference from the abstract and concrete classes, that when you are implementing interfaces, you can have multiple interfaces being implemented at the same time. So technically there is no limit, but well, just use the common sense. So now the database loader is implementing data loader and data remover, and we provided the implementation, and we can just say south removing data from database. So I'm using pretty simple examples. So once you understand the concept, we can do something a little bit more complicated. But now, as long as you can understand what is happening with each one of these prints, it's like a huge victory. And I will do the same in the file loader. Let's provide implementation as well to data remover, provide implementation for the remove. And I will copy the same thing, removing data from, but not database, from file. And now on my data loader test, I will just copy this and I will just call remove here and remove here. Ctrl Shift F10. And now we have removing data from database and removing data from file. So this is pretty powerful, and this is one of the biggest differences between interfaces and abstract and concrete classes. Now, there is something that was introduced on Java 8. Remember that I said that prior to Java 8, all the methods, they were abstract and we didn't have any other option to do that. The problem is this was kind of putting a huge break or a huge wall into the development of the language itself. And why is that? Imagine the following. We have the data loader, and we would like in the data loader to add another method. We would like to check permissions, for example. So public abstract void check permission. So you want to check permission before loading the data. And we have a problem. And you know that from the abstract classes, that once you have abstract methods, all the concrete classes, they should provide implementation. So as you can see, file loader is not working, and also database loader is not working because they need to provide implementation for that method. Well, we only have two classes, it's not a big deal. But imagine the interfaces created by the Java core team. So there is one. If you double press Shift, you can see by typing collection, and you have this interface, collection.java. That is basically in the language since version, I think 1.2. Yeah, so it's like 23 or 24 years and like since it was created. And the whole thing about Java is that they try to move forward without breaking the code that already exists. So now, if this is one of the most important interfaces in Java, and we have like 50 billion JVMs around the world, how can they provide you with new methods that will improve the functionality of the collection? So to avoid that problem to solve that problem without breaking the entire planet, they decided to provide one extra way to do it, methods in Java, through the keyword default. So when you have this default, it means that your method can have implementation. Let me see one, like this one. And all the classes that are implementing this interface, collection, for example, will not have to do it. It will be optional if they want, okay? If they don't have to worry. Let's replicate this in our data loader. So now I want it to be default. So basically, it's like a concrete method, but this is the way they found to do it in the interfaces from Java 8 onwards. So this is like check and permission general. Now both the database loader and the file loader will have this check permission. We can check it here. But unfortunately, not always the permission will be the one that we wanted. So in most cases, when you are adding the default method, you do have something that will be enough for most of the cases. And let's say that, for example, only for database loader is not enough. We can Control O, override checking permission in the database. And the same here, file loader, if we want, Control O, override in the file or for the file. And as you can see, we now have our own methods and the concrete classes being executed. So this is one of the differences between Java up to 7 and starting on Java 8. This is one of the biggest differences. So sometimes you are going through some old articles in the internet and you will probably see someone saying, okay, Java 8 interfaces and abstract classes are kind of the same. And that's because of this functionality. One of these functionalities that is the default. That's in the base loader permission. Okay, everyone, that's everything that I wanted to tell you. Let's continue in the next video. Bye.